ready to rock and roll and go for it, Linda.
Ready to rock.
Yeah, those are cool shoes.
Thank you. So far, they're comfortable. Like, I never wear them, but I mean, they should be comfortable for the next 10 hours, really. Well, and because they're flat and they've got nice wide toes. Let's talk about shoes. There's 30 pairs of shoes in my closet, 30 more pairs by the door. Should I go? Boots are going outside, and there's big fluffy slippers for indoors. There's high heel shoes for going out dancing, flip-flops for the beach. Shoes in boxes sitting in the attic, piled so high I can't reach. Shoes, 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 I'll never have too many. I'll even wear them if they hurt because they are so pretty. And when I'm in the backyard picking up those apples, I wear my gum boots right up to my knees, up to my knees. They're yellow with a green stripe, and they're perfect for the outside, and they're perfect for a country girl like me.
Hey!
Whoa. Thank you. Thank you for indulging me. God, that's so nice of you.
Awesome.
Oh, are we starting the big song, or are you saying something first?
No, we just jump right in. Hello, good morning, everybody. And I'm Georgia Deacon, one of the spiritual practitioners here at CSL White Rock. And we're just going to jump right into the first song.
Okay, I'm here in the right place. Everybody now. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I'm just as I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I'm in the right place at the right time. I'm just what I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I'm just what I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. 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 Woo, 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 woo. Thank you.
Thank you, Linda.
You're welcome.
We love it when Linda comes back.
Me too.
Thank you, Linda Kidder. So good to see you today.
You too.
So thanks for joining us and everybody online. Welcome to our Zoom community. And I think, do we have Pamela or Catherine here today? Pamela. Hi, Pamela. She's our spiritual practitioner online there with any of you who'd like to see her afterwards. She'll be there for you. And if you're new to us today, make sure you get a welcome package from Sandy, our board chair. She's there. And we're glad to see you. And those of you who have come back, thank you also. I'm Georgia Deacon. As I said before, I'm one of the spiritual practitioners here at CSL White Rock. And delighted to be here. I've got Fred back. And Fred, he keeps coming back. But he won't be long in this world with me. He's going to be moved on to a new person, I hope, soon. I also want to mention, well, Tamara's 2 weeks behind me in surgery. She and I are twins, hip surgery. So she had hers successfully last week. She's doing really well. She had a new way of having a new surgeon who did something new with her, so faster recovery. So she's very excited about that. And good goings, Tamara, if you're out there. So as we begin this sacred time together, I invite you to take a deep breath and just turn your awareness inward. With our hearts full of gratitude, we pause to acknowledge the sacred ground we are privileged to stand upon. We give thanks to the first peoples for their enduring love, wisdom, and stewardship of this land on the unceded traditional territories of the Coast Salish peoples, including Katzie, Kwantlen, Semiahmoo nations. We also honor the many other indigenous nations who now call this region home, and we recognize the richness they bring to the community of White Rock, Surrey, and beyond. May this land acknowledgement be more than words. May it be a reminder of our shared responsibility and to walk gently and listen deeply, to live in the right relationship with one another and with the earth. So at CSL White Rock, we hold a vision of loving, vibrant world that works for all. As a spiritual community, we are committed to moving forward with understanding, compassion, and harmony. Our teachings are grounded in the science of mind, a spiritual philosophy that honors the universal truths found in faiths and traditions. The wonderful author, Ernest Holmes. We believe that each of us is a unique expression of the divine, and we are here to awaken that truth, to live from the inside out, to be peace, to be love, and to bring our highest selves forward. Welcome to CSL White Rock. Whether you're here for the first time or have been part of this community for years, you are home. And now it's my joy to welcome practitioner Diane, who will lead us in sacred meditation.
Oh, thank you, Georgia. Hello, everybody. Have a seat, Garrett. Whenever. It's easier to get in meditation when you're sitting. I'm going to read to you The Silence of the Heart. And this Paul Ferrini, in the pages, the paragraph I'll read to you, talks about God as she and her, which is quite comforting to hear. Anyway, so here we go. Through the breath, just give yourself a few seconds of going within. Allowing the breath of love and life to flow naturally, easily through you, as you. So this is a very precious moment where we open our heart to have the experience of connection with the divine. If you want to find God, greet her now. Stop looking for her in sacred books and religious practices. That is not where you will find her. If you want to find God, open your heart. Be gentle with yourself and others. See your judgments for what they are. The obstacle to peace within and peace without. God is not some abstraction, but a living presence in your life that you can experience. Yet, she's not like any other living presence because she is not in form. God is the essence of all beings. She is the very breath with which all form is animated. How do you let her in? It is very simple, really. Stop resisting your experience. Stop withholding your love and pushing the love of others away. Stop playing the victim. Stop blaming others for your grief or for your pain. Open to it all. Let it all in. Own it. Be with it. Be with it all. She will be with you because you trusted her. You trusted in the intuitive perfection of your life. You stopped blaming and complaining. You stopped finding fault. You stopped trying to punish the world for abandoning you. And then she winked and said, "Welcome home. Welcome home. You are already home in God's love." Let's just take a moment to feel that message in your heart, in your mind, in your body. Knowing that truth is so, so, so comforting. So God is all there is. And it is within me and without. So we bring a smile on our face here with gratitude and blessing, blessing, blessing. Namaste, everybody. Inviting you, my dear. Thank you.
Crickets are out, singing their song to an old sweet rhyme. Crickets are out, and the days are getting shorter now. It was getting dark by 7:30 last night. I'll say goodbye to summer. It changed overnight. It was so hot just a few days ago, The time has gone so fast, so slow. When morning lasts for hours on end and days are filled with glisten grains of sand. I'll say goodbye to summer. You were nothing short of grand. Do 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 do. It is what sustains us that matters. Do 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 do. It is the heart that knows the truth. We swim and we play and we while away the hours. Oh, I'll miss you, summer. Now I'm rolling again. Back on the highway headed for home. And I'm smiling again from this state of grace, this closer look, this place in time, this music for my soul. I'll say goodbye to summer. Your warmth will sustain me all year. Goodbye, 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 my sweet dear. Thank you.
That was amazing as usual. Do you have any gigs happening lately,
Do,
Linda?
yeah.
Where?
Lots of church gigs. Well, I'm playing at the Wild Eye Pub in North Vancouver with a band that I know some of you guys want to see. It's called Sold Out. And also, we're playing, another group I'm with is playing there too, called the Porch Chops,
Porch chops.
So-
That's hilarious.
which started during COVID, so we could actually keep playing outside on people's porches. Yeah, and yeah, doing a big Woodstock night at Unity coming up on November 7th.
Nice.
That's good. I'm going to be Janis Joplin. Oh, God help me.
Oh, nice.
I don't have that voice. I don't
Wow.
know what's going to happen. But anyway, yeah, there's lots of stuff. If you go on my website, lindakidder.com, all the dates and things are on there.
Okay, lindakidder.com for
Yeah.
those of you online.
Yeah.
You can find her there. Okay, I have the privilege of introducing our wonderful speaker, Rev Savanna Noelle. She's known to many of us, and she's a global young woman. She's been everywhere. She's been to the Ukraine. She's been to Egypt. She's worked in the Ukraine. She's done ministry in the Ukraine. She's done it all. And now we have the privilege of having her back here in White Rock. She's a speaker, a teacher. She's a relationship coach, and she has the most amazing podcast. So if you search her out on Substack, you're going to find her. I've been sending her podcasts forward to people who are having relationship or you're having a bad day with somebody. You got to listen to her podcast. You go, that's what we need to do. She started her path at age 16. What a slacker. In Denver at Mile High Church. She supports people in their discovery of healthy, connected, conscious, intimate relationships and worthiness. She has worked extensively, as I said, with global outreach, Science of Mind, most notably, as I said, in Egypt and Europe and in the Ukraine in a span of over 11 years. She's based now in Seattle. She's become like a daughter to Norm and I and our family. She's just, yeah, it just works. And we're just so delighted to have you back, Savanna. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks, Georgia. All right, who's here today? Some new faces, some familiar faces. It's so good to be back, you guys. I haven't been here in a minute. So let's take a deep breath, shall we? Inhale. And exhale. Man. So first, I just want to say thank you for having me here, and thank you to Reverend Tamara. We're just going to send her all the healing, positive vibes for a quick, speedy recovery, as well as you, Georgia. And we're wearing orange today. I was told it's Truth and Reconciliation Day today, which I think is a really powerful, well, it's Tuesday, okay. But we are acknowledging it today. And I'm really honored to be able to do that. We don't have these kinds of traditions in my country. So I think it's really important that we just acknowledge that and take a second. So today, I'm going to be speaking all about, it's called Mission Impossible, seeing the truth beyond appearances. And when people ask me, I don't know about you, but when people ask me what it is that I believe, or what are you a minister of, I tell them I'm a minister, and they say, well, what community or what church or what is it that you believe? I'm like, oh, how much time do you have? I mean, do you find yourself like in this situation of like, who's my audience? What am I going to say? How do I explain this? Ultimately, what I tend to do now, just because it's the easiest thing depending on who my audience is I just say, I am all about, and this teaching is all about personal and collective liberation and freedom. And yes, it's about love, but it's also about knowing that we have dominion and power over our thoughts and how we view what is happening in the world as something that is happening either to us or for us. And I think that's really the big difference. If you were to look at any of the other religious traditions, there's often this sense that life is happening to me and I must look to something outside of myself in order to make myself feel good or whole or happy, right? And so the essence of this teaching is freedom, just rock bottom freedom. It is love also, because love is the essence of all that we are, and we know that God is love. And if you don't like the word God, you can use a different word. You could use the word intelligence or divine life or universe. But God is love. It is our essence. It is our birthright. And it's the divine intelligence that is breathing us. And so if we look at the science of mind, which is the philosophy that we teach here, if we look at the Declaration of Principles that Ernest Holmes, who's the founder, who came out with this teaching many years ago, he says that the ultimate goal of life is to be free of discord of every nature, and that this goal is sure to be attained by all. So the goal is not to get love, but to be love everywhere that we go. And we embody it to such a degree that we invite other people into the loving presence, into the joy, into this infinite knowing. And I think this is why we serve in communities, is to expand this, is to kind of model and allow other people to see that they too can live a life of expansiveness. And so an open heart then is a receptive mind. It allows us to tap into that expansive thinking instead of that limited thinking, and to opportunities where there might not have been any opportunities. I think that this teaching requires us, and this is where the practice of the science of mind comes in. This isn't just intellectual, it is the practice and the way of seeing and being beyond the appearances of what's happening in the world right now. And I'm telling you, with all that's going on in the world right now, especially where I'm from, it is really hard to see the truth beyond the reality of every single day. It is so easy to get hooked in. It is so easy to get inundated and sucked in to all of the pain and the suffering and the separation and the fear and the violence and all of that, right? And so what it's about, this teaching, the reason it aids us so well is because it's about becoming in tune with our nature. And the only way we discover our nature is by getting still. We discover it from coming into the presence. It's that inner knower. It's that trusting life fully. It's where when you find yourself in the mess of your life, or in the challenge, or you're in a difficulty, or you're overwhelmed by life, you become so attuned with the presence and that inner intuition of remembering, who am I? Who am I? What am I being called to remember? Who and whose am I? And so it's knowing without a doubt that there is In every, well, I would say challenge and difficulty, there is a beautiful mess. There is an opportunity there. So the one and only job then that we have is to be still enough to listen, to hear, to observe, and to become more of whatever is being asked of us in any given moment to transform this reality that we see in the world of fear and lack and limitation. And oh my gosh, you guys give me the list of judgment, of separation, of violence, of scarcity, of defeat, into what it is we want to see, which is healing and transformation and liberation. And the way, how do we do this? The way we do this is by maintaining an open heart and through our spiritual practice. And this is what we call the practitioner or the minister's heart. This is what that is. And we are all a practitioner of this science, whether you have the degrees or the, the classes or not. It's the basis and the foundation of this teaching, which is prayer. And it is knowing the truth despite the condition. So the truth with a capital T. It is knowing wholeness despite disease and sickness. It is knowing calm and serenity despite depression and anxiety. It is knowing perfect guided action and trust when you feel helpless and in despair. I notice for myself that when I meet with my practitioner, there's always this moment at the very beginning where she says, "What is your intention for this session?" And I give her, what it is that in a synopsis of like 2 words. And she says, "Okay, let's drop into prayer." And it's fascinating because every single time, the moment I drop in, I start to cry. You know what I'm talking about? I start to cry, I think, because it's like, oh, that's what I'm called to remember. That's the space of reconnecting because I forgot or I got so inundated by my own whateverness. She's calling me back into the presence. It's the way I feel, Diane, when you speak Paul Farini, because I love Paul Farini, and when you go into his reading, you immediately can feel just by the tone of her words and just by her consciousness and presence, you immediately drop in. That is what the practice is, and that is what we're called to do. And I notice that when I'm meeting with her, I drop my shoulders. You notice how tight you are? You drop your shoulders, I drop my jaw. I start to breathe, I start to relax. I remember that I'm connected, and it's good to remember. I think sometimes for those of us who've been in this teaching for a while, we're so used to this way of operating that, oh, okay, drop in. Oh, okay, come into prayer, right? We're so used to this nomenclature and the kind of jargon that I'm speaking that I find sometimes I'm really surprised when I'm with a group of people where they go down this rabbit hole of just spiraling out of control and negativity. And you're like, it doesn't really live in my orbit. I mean, it can, but I forget sometimes that we are steeped in this. And sometimes, though, I do get into the mire of it where I need to be reminded, and that's when we call our people to remind us, what is it that I need to deeply know right now? And so this teaching isn't just a knowing of thoughts and prayers, but it is an action. It is an embodied way of life. And the difference, I think, in positive thinking and knowing the truth is that there is a deep conviction. There is a deep trust and a certainty within you that thinks and feels and knows it. And so, again, this is the heart of a practitioner. We are all practitioners of this science, this teaching, this philosophy. And if we come back to principle, which is so needed right now in this time, we remember that God is all there is. It is the only activity. It is the only thing happening right now. And we know that we are inextricably connected to it, that we are unified with it. This is the oneness that we talk about. This spark, this thing lives within us. And so then the realization then is we get to practice this by knowing without a doubt, despite the conditions and the scarcity and the fear and the overwhelm that's happening in life, we get to remember and affirm what it is that we want to see. And this is where the power of our having dominion over our thought is so essential. Where am I entertaining my attention right now? Where is it? It is not wishful thinking. Some people would say, oh, well, you're just an idealist, or that's just wishful thinking. No, it is expected thinking. The word expectancy, I think, is probably in the Science Mind textbook so many times. It's the expectancy. And so we keep our attention on where we want to go. And that means we keep an open heart. That means we have to get clear on what it is that we want to see. We know what we don't want to see, but what do you want to see? So knowing despite all appearances, despite what's happening out here, wholeness is. And some people would say, they would argue with us and say, well, yeah, but this is a reality. It's a fact. I can see this. I can see how bad it is. I can see that this won't work. I had a friend recently message me privately on my socials telling me how badly he wanted to do stand-up comedy. And he is so funny, like so funny. And I've told him for years, you know, you should do stand-up comedy. And he said, well, I would love to, but I'm just so nervous. And so he gave me all these reasons why he couldn't do it, like fighting for his limitations. And I said, if you don't try, you will never know. If you don't take the first step, you will never know. You have to look beyond the appearances of whatever's in front of you and say to yourself, this is not the entire story of my life. There is more here for me. This is not the full story. There is more good here for me. There is more opportunity here for me. I want you to say this to yourself. This isn't my only story. Say it again. This isn't my only story. There is more for us here. There is more for me. I remember years ago, gosh, it feels like forever now, 2012, I think, or 13, I was living over in Cairo, and I remember I had a vision in my mind that I wanted to move there. And it was like in the worst timing possible, in the aftermath of the Arab Spring, right, a revolution. And I remember it was one of those things that I practiced of visualizing it, of feeling it, of thinking about it all the time, even down to my senses of smell of what was going to happen. And I remember people thought I was nuts. They thought, you're insane to go into the heart of this place, you know, at the time of war. And I knew deep down that if I didn't do it, I mean, there was a boy there. There's always a boy involved, it seems. But I had to go or I wouldn't know. We were in a relationship and I was like, you know, if I don't do this, I will never know and I will probably regret it. So I'm taking a leap of faith. I know what it is that I want to see and nobody could talk me out of it. It was that kind of unwavering faith and trust. And I didn't know how it was all going to fully turn out. And I tell you, it was tumultuous and scary and crazy, but it was also beautiful and rich, and I became stronger than I ever thought I could. I had a resilience that I never even knew. I thought Ukraine was hard. Oh my gosh. Like, I found parts of myself that I didn't know were there because I made this decision. And the coolest part of it was that it was even more than I envisioned. But it also was a demonstration of the vision, because I will never forget walking into the Cairo airport and everything I had thought of in my mind was unfolding literally before me. And it was like, oh my God, I visualized this. I saw this, but I did not see the magnitude of how that was going to transform the rest of my life. I should write a book on how it all, you know, transformed it later and all the cool opportunities that happened. But I've had countless experiences in my life, and I'm sure you have too, where you have to know your own truth and the truth despite what everyone else has to say about it, despite what other people have to say, against all odds. Even people who just didn't understand what I was doing, there was this inner knowing. There was this inner trust that I had. And it is a trusting of yourself, that there's something deeper within you that knows what the next thing is, that knows what you have to do, that knows the answer and the solution to what it is that you're seeking. So if you're in this moment, I don't know what everyone's going through, but if you're going through, you know, loss or uncertainty or heartbreak, or you're experiencing some really big life change, or maybe a health challenge, you could be going through a transition in your life. It is an invitation to come back to your center, to this place of power, which is here, to step out of a victim place, which is, again, what this teaching is really wonderful in helping us remember, is that we are not victims to our life, and looking at the vibration and the energy of what you want to have happen, and trusting yourself and trusting life, and in the thing that knows when you need to leave something. Your inner intuition knows when something's off. Your inner knowing knows when you need to leave the job or leave the relationship, or your body knows what it needs to be doing. It's just we can't get out of our own way. How many people in here would say this teaching has saved their life? I mean, online you can't see it all, but I think it's at least half the room. Of having this philosophy, faith is easy when everything is working out. Faith is easy when things are going well, but it's harder when it's not. So we have to massage that faith muscle every single day. And when we're not able to, we call someone to help them, to have them help us remember what we need to remember, the truth of who we are. So I want to give you 4 wisdoms. I don't know what you'd call them. They're just 4, what would they be called? Nuggets. That's a great one. 4 gems of some wisdom that I've been leaning into lately that I want to share with you. When you're confronted with something painful or hard or difficult, when you're in the storm and you're like, how do I get out of this? Or how can I look at this differently? Or where is the more for me? The first one is, I'm strong enough to move through this because I'm resilient. I'm strong enough to move through this because I'm resilient, meaning I have my own back. Do you have your own back? I think that having ourselves is the most beautiful thing. So it's reminding ourselves that I am enough no matter what is happening out here. I'm strong enough to move through this because I am resilient. And the second thing is, I have an amazing support system to remind me who I am. Not everybody has an amazing support system, but if you could find one person, 1 or 2 people that you can trust who can have your back too when you're going through it. And number 3 is, and this is a big one, sometimes I think we forget this one, God is the essence of my life, or use a different word if you don't like that word. Love is the essence of my life. I trust that there is something here for me, and there is a reason for what's happening in this mess, and I can't see it yet, but I know that it wasn't by accident, that there's a message in the mess. And the 4th one, which again I just spoke to a minute ago, is my point of power is not in being a victim. My point of power is not in being a victim. My point of power is in my response. It is remembering who I am and what I am worthy of. And the sooner I remember this, the sooner I stop suffering. To remember, oh, I have dominion. I have dominion over my attention. I have dominion over my thoughts. I have dominion over who I share my space and energy and time with. I get to decide who gets to be in this orbit. Back in 2022, I will never forget it. I was having some crazy night sweats for like 2 years. I was like, what is going on with me? I'm not even menopausal. I don't know what is going on, but I was like, I need to go to the doctor, see what happens. They did all these blood tests, and the doctor calls me on a Friday, and she says, well, you tested positive for TB. And I was like, excuse me? You mean like Doc Holliday TB? like the old Westerns, like consumption TB? And she's like, yeah, she's like, how many countries have you been to? So I start giving her the list and telling her all the places I've been, and I was just in shock. But it was so funny because in that moment, I could have absolutely gone into fear, but I actually laughed out loud because I was like, really, universe? Like, okay, God, like really, that you're going to give me TB, like of all things? And I remember thinking when I got off the phone with her, this isn't your normal way of thinking, but I thought, this is going to be a great sermon someday. It is! I've yet to give that sermon, but it's going to be a great sermon someday because I was like, this can't be happening. Like, the good news is it was latent, it wasn't active. I would have been very sick, and I would have known that something was really wrong. But it reminds me that it was an opportunity for me then and there. Thank goodness I didn't go down the rabbit hole of negativity and spiraling into creating a story that I didn't want. But it means we can reframe the story we're being presented with. What is the gift you are being given right now in whatever crisis or whatever situation you're having? What is the opportunity there? What is the story that needs to be told instead of the one that's self-defeating? When I think about my own business, like building a business, I was reminded by a friend of mine, we were talking about how to build something from nothing. Like, how do you do a career change? Or how do I build this thing? Like, I'm building a podcast. Where do you even start? And I was reminded that it all starts in consciousness. It all starts by planting these seeds. It all starts by our visualization. Some of the biggest corporations, if you were to look out that are massive now, they started off in extremely humble circumstances. Microsoft started out in Bill Gates' parents' garage. Facebook started in a dorm room. I remember that. Amazon started off as an online bookstore, and it took over a year for them to sell one book. Like one book. The Mattel toy company started out selling doll houses. I didn't know that. They did that for years before the Barbie doll was ever created. But the vision was already within these entrepreneurs. The vision of what they wanted to see was already there. And so it is a reminder to us that whatever you're working on or creating or starting or exploring, whatever is happening out there in the world of effect, again, we have to bring our attention and our focus back to what we want to see despite the appearance and the condition. It's a one-liner. We continue to see the truth. We continue to know the truth despite the current situation. And this is where we take our power back. Viktor Frankl said, when we are no longer able to change the situation, we are challenged to change ourselves. Another beautiful example of this, 12 years ago, 2013, I was doing my mock ministerial panels. So what that means is, because I've been a minister now, I think, 11 years, which was weird, like where did the time go? 2013, I had to go in front of a panel of ministers, and it was just a mock panel, like a pretend thing, kind of. And I will never forget it. There was a guy on the panel, he's no longer with us, who had a history. He was a lawyer, an attorney, and a minister. But he had a history of tripping people up. And I'll never forget it. He was asking me, you know, they're like, so what is your vision for your ministry? Like, what do you want to do when you graduate and become a minister? And I remember saying to him, I want to travel the world, and I want to bring this teaching to other parts of the world, and I want a global ministry, but I also want an online ministry. And at the time, online ministry wasn't a thing. There was no virtual online ministry. Actually, it wasn't popular opinion. Like, anybody that you would have talked to back then in 2012 would have said, virtual ministry? Yeah, right. Like, how are you ever going to make any money doing that? Would be the next thing. And I said, well, I would like to have a global ministry, like a church without walls, where, you know, we have this diversity of language and culture. And I had already been working on this in Ukraine and Egypt, right? It wasn't conventional, it wasn't traditional. But there was this idea on the panel that this wasn't real ministry. So I walked out of that mock panel, teared up, crying, because I was so upset, because I worked so hard to get to that point, and I thought, you believe in this, but clearly other people don't think so. I was worried that I wasn't going to pass my panel and that people in the movement wouldn't see this as quote-unquote real ministry. The message was, and this is the piece of this I really want you to get, the message that I had to understand was that we do not have to get other people to see our vision if we see our vision. It's not my job to convince other people that my vision is enough, or that my ministry actually is even enough. My job is to continue to demonstrate my personal power, my integrity, my peace, my passion, my joy, my truth, despite the appearance, despite what other people have to say. It's the same situation with this podcast that I just launched. I haven't launched it on the big platforms because I'm doing market research. I'm on Substack. I'm trying to feel out my audience and see how this is going. It's like a passion project. But not everyone's going to love it. Not everyone's going to align with it. And that's okay, because the people that really need to hear this will find me. The people that need to hear our music will find us, right? And so it is about continuing. It is our job to continue to hold the vision that aligns with our values. My values are authenticity and safety and truth and integrity and collaboration and respect. And you cannot waver on that despite what is happening here. So the interesting thing, the irony of this whole story is that in 2020, where did we find ourselves? We would not have survived as an organization had we not had online ministry. And it was hilarious because I moved to Seattle and COVID hit 2 weeks later. And I had just gotten a job as assistant minister at a church there. And they said, Savannah, what are we going to do? Like, we don't know how to run this technology. We don't know how to do any live streaming. And I said, well, where's your iPhone? So we got a tripod and put up an iPhone. And before we knew it, I had hired a videographer, and I had a sound person who's an engineer friend of mine, and I had an entire crew of people doing online ministry as you guys remember, probably, in a room with no people. And I had to laugh, because it was like, wow, 8 years ago, I had this vision of a virtual ministry, and nobody thought it was real ministry, but it was the thing that would not have allowed us to survive. And so the lesson here is that we have to trust the vision for what has been placed on our hearts. We have to trust in the timing of that, and we have to know the truth of it despite what other people say, despite your financial situation, despite what the past has brought, despite what used to be, despite how hurt you are, despite how scared you are. What else might be true? What else might be possible? Where in my life am I closing or withholding or suppressing or resisting in my life? Where am I not coming fully out? Where am I hiding? Where am I not showing up fully? To me, this is the invitation for us to come out. And the work, as I said, starts in consciousness. So while I know we all know this already, it is good to remind ourselves that we must put our faith in something greater. Does authenticity and truth beam from my life? Am I aligned with my core values and the vision I want to see? So I'm going to end here with a few other thoughts. I think as a collective, we've been in the belly of the whale. You know, if you look at the hero, the heroine's journey, we've been in the trials and the tribulations of that heroine's journey. And sometimes we go back to sleep because we're like, oh, I can't see any more of this. It's like what it felt like to not be conscious sometimes, you know, to just go back to sleep. But then we forget what we deeply know within ourselves, and we get off track in our humanness. And so I'm calling all of us back to remembering our value, to remember the truth, to reignite and re-remember if you forgot the dream that was placed on your heart or that creative idea that never got off the ground, to remember whatever's happening in your life, that wholeness exists despite the illness, the health challenge that you're experiencing. It means that take this time right now, no matter where you are, to reignite your passions and your excitement about something new in your life, about a new opportunity that could just be illuminated, that could be becoming illuminated. And if you get anything else from this talk, it would be to trust the process. I say this to myself, trust the process. Deeply trust the process of this vision. But you gotta get clear on the vision. You've got to get clear on what you want. There's a quote out there that I love that's so funny. It's, I don't know who said this. A smooth sea never made a skilled sailor. A smooth sea never made a skilled sailor. It's all there, right? So if you're worried about what other people think, or you're hoping other people are going to see your vision, or you're waiting for other people to choose you or to choose your idea, or to accept you, I want you to remember this. So I want you to, let's just close our eyes for a moment. And I want you to just take in these words I'm saying, and also just this prayer. That the version of you that tries to make other people stay or play small isn't the most radiant version of you. Because you shine brighter when you're met, when you're standing boldly in the world, not when you're waiting, not when you're hiding. You see, love without presence is just potential. And potential doesn't keep us warm at night, you know. So we're not here to convince other people to see our vision. We're not here to convince other people to rise. We are here to meet people who are already standing, who are already aligned with the wingspan that we wish to hold. We remember that people can only meet us to the degree that they've met themselves. And so as we go within this moment, I just want us to just reconnect with that heart space for a moment, to your breath. It is that place and that space that I spoke of earlier with Diane's reading. That everything starts in consciousness, that love is the greatest power there is, that it is the only thing operating, that God is the only thing there is. It is infused in every aspect of our lives. It is the spark and the essence of who you are and who we are. And so we come back to this wholeness, to this joy, to this love, to this beauty, to the opportunities that live and breathe and move as our very lives. As we come back into alignment with the truth with a capital T, despite what's happening in the world of effect. And we trust that there's something more amazing happening than we even know in this moment. That where we feel separation, we remember wholeness. That where we feel fear, we remember love and faith in something greater than even our conscious mind can comprehend. And we breathe. Letting go of scarcity thinking and lack and limitation and can'ts and I don't know hows. And we come back to the realization and the remembering of who we are, and that something greater than us knows the answer, knows the solution, knows the path, knows the way, as we continue to align, and to alignment being the key word here, with the truest nature of who we are. And so I want us to silently in this moment just claim a word that you want to take with you this week. What is your word that you are claiming to embody and to be about this week? Just hold it silently in your mind. Let it move through you into your heart. And we let that be the truth. And so giving gratitude for these words today, giving gratitude for this community, for this amazing community that continues to show up, to support, to uplift, to inspire other people to live their most amazing selves in the world. We honor everyone who walks through this door and everyone who watches online. And so I close now just with a ashe and so it is, and an amen. Peace be still, everyone. So it is. Thank you.
Gonna need a bigger Buddha to excavate my soul. Need a magic mantra to make the world back whole. Gonna need a bigger Buddha so wars will finally cease. We belong to one another to bring the world some peace. We're all just made of cosmic dust, casting off the shadows of our minds, shedding the layers of karmic rust, so that our light can finally shine. Gonna need a bigger Buddha to help us all to cope. A message of the all clear to give our hurt some hope. Gonna need a bigger Buddha to keep love here to stay, filling our hearts with compassion. Let kindness lead the way. We're all just made of cosmic dust, casting off the shadows of our minds, shedding the layers of cosmic rust, so that our lights can finally shine. Gonna need a bigger Buddha to excavate my soul. Gonna need a magic mantra to make the world back home. Gonna need a bigger Buddha so wars will finally cease. We'll belong to one another and bring the world some peace. Bring the world some peace. bring the world some peace.
That's just amazing. What,
It's
how,
a great song, though. Hey, I just discovered it.
what a great connection. Thank you.
Yeah.
And thank you, Rev Savanna. That was amazing. I so needed to hear that message. Yeah, I've been asking myself. Someone asked me last August when I fell, why the fall, Georgia? I knew, as a practitioner, I knew this was cause, but this was effect, but where's the cause? But if you got a bottle of wine, I'll share with you sometime. Okay, announcements. I'm so glad to see the orange in the audience. Thank you for, I know it's not till Tuesday, but it's kind of cool to start recognizing the fact that it is Truth and Reconciliation Day on Tuesday. And there's a dedicated event from 5 till 8 in the Derrick Doubleday Arboretum located on 21177 Fraser Highway. There'll be story, drummers, speakers, candlelight, walking vigil. So please email Rev Tamara at CSL White Rock for further details. So if you want to drop into that on Tuesday, that would be a really interesting event. And in White Rock, there's a Semiahmoo First Nation invites the community to the 4th annual walk for Truth and Reconciliation at the Grand Chief Bernard Robert Charles Memorial Plaza on White Rock's East Beach. I have no idea where that is, but those of you who live in White Rock will know that. This free community event runs from 11 till 2. So that's on Tuesday as well. It includes activities, performances centered around this year's theme, Why Reconciliation Now? I had a wonderful time this summer working with international students from all over the world, and I explained about our situation with Truth and Reconciliation and how we've managed with our Indigenous people, and they're going, wow, really? Well, that's another story. If you have a bottle of wine, I'll share that one with you too next time. So, songs for Singing Circle with Michelle Briggs, Heidi, and Nathan. Wow, on October 5th from 12:30 to 2, join us at a 90-minute singing circle that will raise your vibration and open your heart. You'll be guided through gentle healing chants. No musical experience is required. Just bring your voice, your presence, and a willingness to connect. These heart-centered chants are designed to calm the mind, energize the spirit, and create a shared sense of peace and unity. And it's right here. Yes, so October 5th. Nice. Love it. So tickets are available at cslwhiterock.com or in person here. We're waiting to hear back from other events committees, but there is a winter concert and auction on Sunday, November 30th with our dear Linda Kidder again and Alex Whitaker at the Elgin Hall. So that's going to be a cool event on the Sunday, November 30th. So mark your calendars. And there's a new offering of a book club with Rhonda. Is Rhonda here? There she is. Rhonda, you should be coming up here to show your face and let them know that you're here. Yes, we have a handout, and I have it here. Momentarily. Here we go. Okay, so Rhonda's starting her first meeting on October 27th at 7 p.m. Meet on Zoom. It's the last Monday of the month. And there's no monthly commitment. If you like the book and you're curious about the monthly meeting, come join us. The book is Women, Food, and God by Janine Roth. Look, she's got the book. Cool. She selected this book because it speaks to her heart and delivers a banquet of delicious inspiration. And it's a safe space to learn, grow, and share. So we have lots of information about that. So this sounds like a fascinating book club. Thank you, Rhonda, for offering to start this for us. This is so cool. I love it. It is. Thank you. All right. And new CSL men's group, honey, my first husband, just in case you're wondering, a new men's group. Exciting to share. CSL White Rock is launching a new men's group. First weekly gathering is Monday, October 6th at 7. We'll put that in your calendar. Look at he's looking funny at me. This group is a place for men to connect more deeply and share openly and grow spiritually together. Apart from your wife, dear, think how nice that would be. It's an opportunity to step away from the busyness of life and build an authentic connection and discover new ways of supporting one another. For information and register, get the Zoom link from Paul Johnson. So Paul couldn't be here today, but he's the inspiration behind this. He's starting it up, and I'm so thankful that Paul's doing this. Thank you, Paul. And a meditation reminder, every Sunday morning at 10, if you're here at 10, we have meditation, and people who've been doing that for a while really, really like it. And Tuesday mornings at 8. So Tuesday mornings at 8 and here on Sundays. So let's come forward with the offertory. People who are doing the offerings? Not right away? Oh, my prayer. As we begin to close this wonderful time together today in this wonderful community we call CSL White Rock, we take in that deep, deep breath of life, of source, of love. And we remember, as Rev Savanna said today, who we are and that divineness of ourselves and our own faith and our own belief in ourselves in this world of energy, of invigorated ideas and new thoughts and new ways of being. It's all here, right now. We're so thankful for this time together. We're thankful for the new learning, the new teaching. We're thankful for the teaching of Ernest Holmes. We're thankful for the new people who walk through the door to join us in this common idea as we walk each other home. And common idea of source and love and faith in each other and ourselves, mostly ourselves. I'm thankful for this, and I'm humbled by this, and I'm so grateful for everything that has shown up today. And I send this all back to the law of mind, knowing only right action is already in place. Please join me in saying, and so it is. And now we'll have the offertory. Oh, so let's do the one for the people online. Thank you online for your patience. We are all visitors to this time, this place. We are just passing through. Our purpose here is to observe, to learn, to grow, to love, and then we return home. Doesn't that fit? And it's an Aboriginal proverb, and doesn't that fit with what you talked about today, Rev Savanna? Wow, that's amazing. So thank you. Okay, so let's take it away.
I'm choosing heaven today. I'm choosing heaven today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing, I'm choosing heaven today. I'm choosing grace today. I'm choosing grace today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing, I'm choosing grace today. I'm choosing joy today. I'm choosing joy today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing, I'm choosing joy today. I choose abundance today. I choose abundance today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing, I choose abundance today. Let's end it with love. I'm choosing love today. I'm choosing love today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing, I'm choosing love today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing, I'm choosing love today.
So if I can hold you for one more minute, the part I left out was that you've taken that message and that givingness today to your heart as you've given to our community. And also we're here for treatment. If you want a little prayer or treatment, I'm here. Rev Savanna's here, and we're going to be sticking around. If you want to come see us, please come and talk to us. And thank you for joining us today, and thank you for the online community. And